Hey guys, it's Jen here from Jen Around the World, and today I'm going to share with you one of my most popular recipes, and it is my homemade Butterfinger cake. Well, it's semi-homemade. I've been making this recipe since I guess my kids were little, and all of their friends and their friends' friends and all our church family and even my blog readers love this cake recipe, and I've had so many requests for it. So today I thought I would show you how easy it is to make your very own Butterfinger cake. So let's go. The first thing you're going to need is a box of Devil's Food Cake, and this is the only kind of chocolate cake that you want to use for this recipe. I've tried it with other flavors like the decadent dark chocolate, all the others, but the one that really pops with flavor is the Devil's Food Cake. So we're going to take this box cake and we're going to turn it into a bakery style cake by adding just a few more ingredients than what's on the box. So the normal cake ingredients for just a box cake is like 3 eggs, a half a cup of oil, and 1 cup of water. But we're gonna remove the water and replace it with milk, leave the oil as it is, and then add 1 extra egg. And by doing that, you'll take a box cake from good to great and make it taste like a bakery cake. So that's what we're gonna do first. So let's get that going. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take some non-stick spray and spray your pan. I'm using a 9x13. And then you're going to dump your cake mix into the pan. And then we're going to bake it at 350 degrees for about 35 minutes, 35 or 40 minutes, until a toothpick inserted in the center of your cake comes out clean. Or a butter knife, whatever you have on hand. I usually use a butter knife. Most people use a toothpick, but I use whatever I can find. And then just make sure you smooth the cake out evenly all around your pan so that everything bakes evenly. And then we're gonna bake it, and then once the cake comes out, I'll show you the next step. Okay, so the cake just came out of the oven, and you wanna do this while your cake is warm. So the cake is sitting while I get the mixture mixed up that goes on top of it, and it is basically 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. This is a 14-ounce can. And then a jar of caramel topping for your ice cream, and this jar is 12.25 ounces, but it's the Smucker's, that's just what I've always used. And so you mix those two up, and then everybody always likes to fight over the sweetened condensed can.
No, that's mine.
Kayla always says it's hers, since she's in the kitchen helping me most of the time. She claims it. And then 1 jar, like I said, of the caramel topping, and you're just gonna mix them together. Sometimes it takes it forever. This is one of my favorite parts of this cake, is this ooey gooey part, because it goes into the cake. We're gonna poke holes in the cake, and then we're gonna spread this all over the cake, and so this gooiness is gonna go down into the cake. Makes it delicious. All right, I'm gonna use a wooden spoon. It's just the end of it. And I'm just gonna poke holes all in the cake, just like this. And then we'll pour our condensed milk caramel mixture over top of this. And I always try to make sure I wiggle it all the way down to make sure that the holes go all the way down. That way the mixture gets all into the cake. And like I said, you want to do this when the cake is warm, because if you do it when the cake is cold, then it won't seep down into the cake as good. And you want your cake to be moist and have that flavor all the way through it. All right. Now we're just gonna pour this all over top, just like this. My husband is gonna flip when he comes home today and see I made this, because he loves this cake. So does my son.
Delicious.
And then sometimes I take the back of my spoon and I will push the stuff down into the holes even more, just to kind of make sure it gets down in there. And then you'll put this in the fridge till it completely cools, and then we'll top it, and then we can eat it. Okay, so I've just taken the cake out of the refrigerator. It's nice and cooled off, and now we can put our topping on. The topping is literally Cool Whip, the frozen stuff that you get in the freezer. And usually my recipe calls for an 8-ounce tub, but I think it needs a little more, so I always buy the bigger tub so that I can add extra if I want to, but it's really your preference how much icing you want on top. And then once we get that done, we sprinkle on a crushed up Butterfinger, and then we can eat this bad boy. All right, so you just put it on and then smear it out to the best of your ability. Like I said, use as much icing or as much whipped topping as you want to create like frosting for your cake. I couldn't think for a minute there. But anyway, you just smear it on, and then we'll sprinkle on the Butterfinger in a minute. You can stop it. Okay, so you're just gonna take a whole Butterfinger candy bar, and I like to use just a regular knife, and you're just gonna chop it up. It's pretty easy to chop up, and it will crumble like you need it to from the top of your cake, so you just keep chopping away. Okay, and the last part, you just sprinkle on your Butterfinger candy bar on top, and you have a beautiful Butterfinger cake. Alright, there you go. That is my Butterfinger cake, and for more recipes like this, just go visit